Hey, Mel. I am the recipient of a no-frills breast implant. The left one is nearly twice the size of the right. The left one is hard as a bowling ball, and the right one has the consistency of cheese whiz. If you touch it, it actually dents. The first night I was home, my husband was the first to notice, and when he asked me to turn sideways, I knocked him cold with the big one. I just got a letter saying the clinic refused all responsibility. Help me, Mel. Sign me, that's the large and the small of it in the Rockies. You know, our staff physician advises me to tell you that whatever you do, avoid trampolines at all costs. Mel keeps an attorney on retainer just for these very situations, and he assures me that as soon as he stops laughing, he'll get back to me. For the life of me, I'll never be able to understand a woman's preoccupation with trying to change a God-given appearance. Hey, a little makeup to cover those ugly wrinkles, a little rouge to put some life into that dead-looking puss. But, babe, if the Lord had wanted you to have big bazooms, they would have sprouted back in high school. If you really want me to pursue this thing legally, we'll be needing some photographs. Won't we, guys? then again, I could be wrong. They call me Mel.
You gotta be kidding me. A caller said, don't forget...
That man wake you up in the morning, call you douchebag without a warning. You hop out of bed, put a comb to your head. When the bird reads the news, you wish he was dead. You jump in your ride down 95 behind Canadians and blue hairs and all that jive. Take you 2 hours just to get to work. While you rush to get there and your boss is a jerk. Neil. Just another day with the same old crap. Do what I do the Neil Rogers rap.
Sound like there are a few bird droppings in there along the way. It's 10:27 at WIOD. I'm trying to hang up on him, and I can't hang up on him. I can't cut him off.
Attorney.
Do you care?
NWS.
Well, they're all a bunch of wieners over there, okay? I don't want to hear about Jeff Wiener. I mean, is that boring or what? What happened to all the living and breathing people that we had out there on this show just as a Friday? Did they all die over the weekend? Did they all go up to Daytona? My God. Well, of course, it is spring break somewhere. Do we have any do we talk about spring break here anymore, or do we don't even dignify about it? No?
It's like starts the 17th, I think. I saw something.
No, but I'm saying, do we discuss it in this part of the state?
No,
because it just doesn't exist. It's totally extinct.
It's not a factor.
It's like an extinct species.
It's not a factor in this part of the state, is it? Anymore?
No.
You remember the old days?
A bunch of redneck yahoos up there in Fort Lauderdale that said, hey, we don't want your money here. You're just too young and too much problems and get lost, okay, along with those fascist pig cops up there, all right? All the brown shirts. Let's see, you can't cross the street. What is it in Fort Lauderdale? You can't cross the street if you're under 30. With or without a cup. I mean, you just can't cross the street, period. You can't be driving with a cup, even if it's like coffee. You can't have it. You can't park at the beach after 6 p.m. You can't park at the beach before 6 p.m. I mean, you can't do anything over there, right?
Can you remember the old days when the college kids used to come in and take over Fort Lauderdale?
I can remember when you couldn't drive on A1A, and it was great because you would just kind of go in neutral and just roll along, and it would take about an hour and a half to go from one end of the strip to the other, and you'd see all of these incredible people, and it was like body watching, okay?
That's
it was
right.
like going into the mall.
Big
it was
show.
great.
Better than the mall. It was a big show.
It was amazing.
Biggest people watching there was.
Yeah, and most everybody seemed to be having a good time. Then they started passing all these stupid laws, and they drove them back into the hotels and the high-rises because they wouldn't let them do anything outside, and some of the kids would get drunk because when you're in college, drinking is your major generally.
Sure.
And then they'd start, like, doing things out on the balcony and jumping off and falling off and things like that, and they couldn't figure out why. In their infinite wisdom up there in Fort Lauderdale. I mean, you pop movers and shakers up there in Fort Lauderdale, you have got to be the dumbest group in the history of mankind. I mean, the people on the beach, at least some of them are trying, okay? They're not succeeding, but they're trying. Even Barbara is trying over there, okay, in her own Neanderthal way, okay, in her own archaic manner. But in Fort Lauderdale, they don't even make a pretense of it. They just want to turn it into an outdoor nursing home. So Bob Cox can sit in with a in a wheelchair out there on A1A eventually and just sit there rocking back and forth with his silly haircut. And, oh, boy, this is great. And just look around and have it like it was 50 years ago when even the alligators wouldn't come near it, okay? What a pathetic, I don't know. It's not even worth talking about, is it? 1046 at WIOD. Let's talk some more food, okay? If we can't eat it, we talk about it. That's our slogan at WIOD. If you can't eat it, talk about it.
This is Sergeant Whipgood in the Metro Street Patrol with a traffic safety reminder. It may be little, but it can still cause a lot of trouble. Before you pull it out and stick it in, take a close look at it. If you abuse it, it gets crooked and bent out of shape, and you'll find as time goes by, it doesn't quite fit, in which case you might as well just leave it in your pants. I'm talking, of course, about your car key. Treat it right and always carry a spare. This is Sergeant Whipgood in the Metro Street Patrol. Oh, yeah, one more thing. Never force it in, because if you break it off, your driving's done. Ciao.
Was that Sergeant Whipgood?
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to be hearing a lot from him. It's 10:51 at WIOD.
Okay, Dwayne, we're going to try it once more. Just remember now, introduce yourself and read what's on the paper in front of you. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, fine. Dwayne Stomp, Substance Abuse Awareness Campaign. This is take 9. Dwayne, that's your cue.
Oh, right. Anytime you're ready.
We're ready, Dwayne. Dwayne, go.
Oh, hi. This is Dwayne Stomp of Blacktooth. Kids, when you drink and drive...
No, Dwayne. No, cut. It's not when you drink and drive.
Oh, right. Let me do it again.
Yeah, good idea. This is Dwayne Stomp, PSA, take 10.
Hi, this is Dwayne Stomp. When I drink and drive, I'll...
Cut, Dwayne. Dwayne, this spot is supposed to be against driving while intoxicated.
What?
Never mind. We'll do it one more time. And remember, say, don't do drugs. And if you must drink this holiday weekend, don't drive. You got it?
I told you I got it.
Fine. Dwayne Stomp, PSA, take, 11.
Hi, I'm Dwayne Stomp telling you, if you do drugs this weekend, don't drive.
Wrong again, Dwayne. It's don't do drugs. Don't do drugs.
That's what I said.
No, it's not. It's not even close to what you said.
You come in this booth, I'll show you how close it was, Sherlock.
We're going to do it again, Dwayne. Say, don't do drugs. If you must drink this holiday weekend, do not drive. Take 12.
This is Dwayne Stomp. Weekends are for drunks. Do drugs.
Okay, Dwayne, thank you very much for coming in. I think with a little editing, we've got something we can use.
Don't do drugs. And if you must drink this holiday weekend, don't
drive.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like the old W Snooze jingles, the ones they used to piece together with Ken Nordine. Yes! South Miami. Anyway, it's 11:08 at WIOD. Yeah, we're going to have a new weather show. 11:37 at WIOD.
Hey, Mel, I'm a sophomore in high school, and I fell in love with my science teacher. I live every day for third period. I can't get my mind off her. She's beautiful, Mel. Everything about her is wonderful. She has soft, full lips. Her body is curvy in all the right places, an hourglass figure. I can't work on my homework for 10 minutes without daydreaming about her. I know if I told her how I feel, she'd just laugh at me. Sign me infatuated but shy in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, you know, there's a number of ways to get her attention. Maybe your science project could be models of the male and female genitalia. When you present the project, give her a wink and wiggle your tongue at her. Like the kid who sits in front of you in the back of the head with a closed fist. When she keeps you after school for detention, it'll be just you and her. I'd love to see the look on her face when you reach into your backpack and break out a couple of candles and a six-pack. Send her a Polaroid of you and your BVDs. Stuff a pair of socks in there for effect. Offer to buy her underwear. Tell her she needs a spanking. Shake hands with her and tell her she's got a good grip. Offer her money for sex. Then again, I could be wrong. They call me Mel.
It's 11:55.
Little furry creatures near the highway in the dead of the night. The flattened silhouette of deer crossing in the glow of my bright headlights. Is that the neighbor's cat I see up ahead in the wash of a corner street light? I'm not aiming, they just never see me coming. And I guess that's why they say every car has a horn. And I wonder if possum ever mourn. Just like every roadkill leaves us a little forlorn. Every car has a horn.
20 past noon at WIOD. We're going to hit him with a really big D. 12:38 at WIOD. At least they hope you'll settle for it anyway. All right, now listen, those of you who are out there. 137, I will D.
You were mentioning sugar apples. What's the difference between sugar apples and regular apples?
153 at WIOD. Are you listening, Johnny Dark? Now, we apologize for the buzz in the background of this, too, but nothing's perfect. Okay, that's enough of those.
WIOD. Hi, everybody. This is Safety Officer Mike Tyson, heavyweight champ of the world, your baddest dude around, the baddest driver around, too, with your driving tip of the day. A few months ago, I was in a Kmart with my ex-wife, Robin Gibbons. I can't believe it. Maybe you read about her in the papers. Anyway, she buys me one of these cute little Garfield cats with suction cup feet, which I stuck on the window in my car when we left the store. On the way home, I drove into a tree. I can't believe it. Maybe you read about it in the papers. I couldn't see the tree because the damn cat was in my way. Robin said I was stupid to stick Garfield on the windshield. I mean, that's really bitchy to me. I mean, call the heavyweight champ of the world stupid? Now, that's stupid. So I faked Robin a left. I took her out with a clean right hand, knocked the right down completely. First, a standing 8 count. I couldn't believe it. Maybe you read about that in the papers. Anyway, my attitude toward Garfield the cat has really been affected greatly. I mean, in fact, if I see you driving around with Garfield the cat in your car, I may lose complete control. I don't know what will happen. Maybe you'll read about that in the papers, too.
Could be. 10:54 at WIOD.
I have as much experience in the Congress as Jack Kennedy did when he sought the presidency.
I served with Jack Kennedy. I knew Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy was a friend of mine. Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy.
Now, you're probably wondering why I chose Ooh, we just caught the first note of the next one. Okay, it's 10:17 at WIOD.
This is Sergeant Whitgood in the Metro Street Patrol with a traffic safety reminder. If you're a hard driver, what should you be most concerned about? That's right, the rubber on your car's tires. It gets a lot of abuse if you cruise a lot. Always check your rubber before you get in the driver's seat. If it's getting thin, you're asking for big trouble. Maybe a blowout at high speed. Yes, when it comes to rubber safety, I always say, if it's worn and thin, then trade it in. But if it's thick and wide, then you won't slide. This is Sergeant Whitgood in the Metro Street Patrol. Oh yeah, one more thing. Ciao.
He sure's got away with words, doesn't he? 10:39 at WIOD, 21 before 11 o'clock. Now, that ugly rumor is not true that Mike Miller had the same guess?
Mike Miller?
Hey, Mel, I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and I feel guilty that I have all this money. Most people have to slave all their lives just to make ends meet. I want to do good deeds and share the wealth, as they say. My friends think I'm crazy, but I know I'm right. What good are wealth and riches if a person chooses not to reach out to help his fellow man? Sign me, Thurston Howell III. Hey, pal. You are most definitely my kind of guy, and before I say anything else, I want you to know that Mel likes you a lot. Now let's deal with this little problem of yours. There are funds for the homeless, funds for the hungry, even funds for the sick. But to the best of my knowledge, there's only one fund that covers all of the above. It's called the Movement for Elevated Living, or MEL. They're an open-minded bunch in the respect that they accept cash, checks, charges, negotiable bonds, jewelry. Why, they'll even let you sign over the mortgage to your home. Send your money to Mel, care of this station. Do it today, Thurston, before the devil makes you change your mind. If later on, if you have a change of heart, Mel guarantees he'll refund your money, and then again, maybe he won't. They call me Mel.
It's 11:06. 28 past 11 in the big city.
American cowboy. Tough, determined, smelly. He settled the West with just a horse, a gun, and a whole bunch of beer. Our beer. Zeldin Schlock beer. When Pat Garrett gunned down Billy the Kid, they were both filled with our beer. When Custer confidently rode into the worst ambush in U.S. military history, he'd just finished a case of Zeldin Schlock ponies. Now you can enjoy the time-honored recipe of our founder, Papa Zeldin Schlock. Yes, even though it's harder to make beer this way, out of the back of a chuck wagon from ingredients we find in a cow pasture, we still do it because, well, we're stubborn. Stubborn and backward and, like Papa, just a little bit loco. But that's how you get when you're out on the prairie, all alone, with just a horse and a gun and a whole bunch of beer. Our beer, Zeldin Schlock beer. Enjoy a great tradition of the Old West, getting drunk and shooting up the place with Zeldin Schlock beer.
It's 11:38 at WIOD, and we got a lady caller in Miami. Hello. For educational, the way Soper wanted to.
That really frosts my ass a little bit.
Okay, it's 10:05. It's 10:20.
That really frosts my ass a little bit.
10:37.
Put me on after the Canadian, are you?
Yes,
I can't.
By the way, there's room on the bus, Greg. Just a little joke.
Listen, I heard
that's what Donald said.
Who?
You remember him?
Oh, it's a good time.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Hey, listen, I heard I made some kind of a list. Ugly?
Yeah, one of the ugliest baseball players in history. Now, that's a new one for you, isn't it?
I'm not uglier than Elrod Hendricks is.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
That's a good one. How about Enos Slaughter?
Oh, God.
He was a good-looking guy.
Really?
Yep.
I just wanted to check. I wasn't quite sure.
Well, you don't look at those ball players' faces anyway, do you? We don't want to ruin your image and get your new wife upset.
Just the numbers.
Okay. Oh.
Looking at those numbers.
Yeah, I hear that.
That's all I wanted to know.
Is that it?
That's it.
Well, listen, let me just in closing say, govern yourself accordingly, okay?
I'm going to invite you to my wedding, okay?
Oh, it hasn't happened yet?
No, not yet.
When is it?
So there's no rush. There's no shotgun, you know?
Okay. So in other words, there's still hope for Donald, right?
There certainly is hope for Donald and everybody else in the business.
Okay, all right then. Okay, see ya.
Bye-bye.
Here's another list. Larry says Jack Clark, Davy Johnson, Claudel Washington,
OD.
Okay,
No one knows sports in South Florida like Rick Weaver, Joe Zagacki, Sonny Hirsch, Hank Goldberg, and Jim Mandich. Join our sports team for Sports Talk every night at 6. Now, more with Neil Rogers on News Talk Radio 610, WIOD.
Okay, well, if they don't want those call letters, we'll take them. I don't care what anybody else says. They're just too good to throw out.
Oh, no, but they didn't throw them out. They're like...
You can't do that. It's like retiring the number of a ball player. Okay, you can do that. You can retire a uniform. But whoever heard of retiring call letters?
Never been done.
I bet you they retire Zeta when they change format in a couple of weeks. No, I'm serious. When they start playing those Chinese melodies, I bet you they change the call letters. And nobody else will pick up Zeta. Because ZTA... Well, didn't we say at the time, remember when, what's her name, Kathy Wild West came in and she blew that story on the air and then wound up coming in and swearing on the air a couple of times about it? Mm-hmm. But anyway, I couldn't believe it because those have got to be the worst call letters. And, of course, I-95 was just such a natural. It was too good.
Right, and the first time it was Zeta 4, the original Zeta 4, it was WINZ-FM.
Yeah, well, that makes too much sense. It's too easy to remember. Anyway, it's 10:26 at WIOD, and we're real excited.
We're up to our long-distance dedication. And this one is about kids and pets and a situation that we can all understand, whether we have kids or pets or neither. It's from a man in Cincinnati, Ohio. And here's what he writes. Dear Casey, this may seem to be a strange dedication request, but I'm quite sincere, and it'll mean a lot if you play it. Recently, there was a death in our family. He was a little dog named Snuggles, but he was most certainly a part of... Let's go start again. From coming out of the record. Play the record, okay? Please. See, when you come out of those up-tempo damn numbers, man, it's impossible to make those transitions, and then you got to go into somebody dying. You know, they do this to me all the time. I don't know what the hell they do it for, but damn it, if we can't come out of a slow record, I don't understand it. Is Don on the phone? Okay, I want a damn concerted effort to come out of a record that isn't a up-tempo record every time I do a damn death dedication. Now, make it, and I also want to know what happened to the pictures I was supposed to see this week. It's the last damn time I want somebody to use his brain to not come out of a damn record that is that's up-tempo, and I got to talk about a dog dying. What is this ponderous, man? Ponderous and ponderous.
That really frosts my ass a little bit.
Okay, it's 12 minutes after 11 at WIOD, so we give him kind of like a quinella there.
This is Sergeant Whitgood in the Metro Street Patrol with a traffic safety reminder. If you're a hard driver, what should you be most concerned about? That's right, the rubber on your car's tires. It gets a lot of abuse if you cruise a lot. Always check your rubber before you get in the driver's seat. If it's getting thin, you're asking for big trouble. Maybe a blowout at high speed. Yes, when it comes to rubber safety, I always say, if it's worn and thin, then trade it in. But if it's thick and wide, then you won't slide. This is Sergeant Whitgood in the Metro Street Patrol. Oh yeah, one more thing. Ciao.
That's about as exciting as Georgia Gacky.
Okay, it's 106.
Well, I feel...
Sounds a little like Willard's.